depressing. Like when you are constantly on it and looking at the news, it's depressing. It literally is like that. It really is. They just drag a story. Yeah, that doesn't work. So today I'm going to be checking out a highly requested video from you guys. That is Norm Macdonald's 12-minute joke. That's an oddly specific amount of time. It better be a funny joke because so many of you guys suggested I watch this. No, she's completely serious. It better be a funny joke or else. Before I get into today's video, do be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, next time you have somewhere really, really important to be, you're gonna oversleep. Oops. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
Now listen, man, I like the news. You guys like the news?
No, I do not like the news.
I always watch the news, and I'll tell you something.
It's depressing.
I don't understand it. But
Me neither.
for some reason, I watch it. I don't even know why, but I think I'm supposed to or something. So I'll watch it, and then the guy will come on and he'll go, anyways, today the deficit. And then I'll go, I've heard that word.
Accurate. That is true. I don't understand anything.
Today the Dow Jones NASDAQ Composite Index is down. And then I go, that's not good.
Yeah, I haven't a clue. I'm not understanding those things.
Up. I like when it's up. That's my opinion on the...
Beautiful theater.
Seems like there's too much news, like, you know, because now they have 24-hour news. Now, when I was a young boy, the news was half an hour. That was the whole news, you know.
Half an hour.
The guy would come on and he'd have a tie, you know, and shit, and he would say the news, and it was a half an hour long. Now, it's 24 hours long.
It is, yeah.
It turns out that back in the old days when it was only half an hour, they had it about right. That's about all the news.
Yeah, I agree. I personally got to a point and have done where I just had to stop looking at things like Twitter and the news. I do not watch the news anymore. I will read an online paper, usually every morning, but that's it. And after that, I don't watch the news. I don't read Twitter because it's depressing. Like when you are constantly on it and looking at the news, it's depressing. Tell me I'm wrong. Maybe you feel differently. Tell me how you feel. Do you like to watch news 24 hours a day? Let me know.
Even then, there'd always be like a story, some story at the end about a caribou or some horse. So there wasn't even enough to fill the half an hour. But 24 hours, way too long.
Way too long.
Repeating stories all the time.
Repeating everything.
Make up stories, you know. They do that a lot. Make up things that aren't really news stories, but they have to, you know, fill the 24 hours, you know. And the one I noticed that they make up a lot, this is the latest one I've seen. I see this all the time on the news. The newsman will come on, he'll go, good evening, everybody. This is the newsman. Whatever he says, he's not going to say that. And then he goes, our top story tonight, a lady has vanished. That's the story. And then he goes, let's go outside where there's another guy. So then they cut to outside. And then there's a...
I love this language.
Like, hey, listen, how's it going inside? We're outside, and we found out about this lady that vanished. Her name was Janice, and they found her car here in the Taco Bell parking lot. And don't worry about the car, it's fine. But can't find hiding her hair of the lady. Well, back to you.
It literally is like that. It really is. They just drag a story.
I don't give a fuck on account I never knew Janice in the first place. Matter of fact, I'm kind of happy it's Janice and not somebody I know.
Sure.
But then what they do is they start telling you about Janice.
Just a side note, he must be absolutely boiling hot in that jacket. I mean, I'm sitting here under one little light and I'm warm, and he's there on a stage. I've been on stages with like little bits of sweat dripping down. I mean, glowing. I glow, Mom. I never sweat. But he must be absolutely melting right now with the heat. Why did he do that? Was he insecure about his body? Was that a reason? I bet it was, even if he didn't talk about it publicly.
And they go, hey, we found out some cool things about Janice. And you're like, no, that's cool. I don't want to hear it. They go, no, you want to hear it.
She loved yoga.
Help themselves. So they go, let's go back to Bill. He's still outside. And how's it going, Bill? And Bill's like, it's all right. It's no inside, but it's cool. And
it's true. I do a little bit of TV presenting. And in terms of tiers, the people in the studio are higher up than the people on the street, for sure.
Found out about Janice. Turns out she's a good lady. And we found some friends of hers, and here they are. And then, sure enough, they show a lady, and it says, friend of Janice. And she says, I'll tell you something about Janice. You want to hear about Janice? Janice is the type of lady that you could always turn to. You know, you ever want to turn to somebody?
Lights up a room.
Like if you got a problem or something, and you feel like you want to turn? You ever do that?
If anyone ever says I light up a room.
It just hurts and you want it anyways. The point of it is that once you swiveled your head over this way, the person you'd most want to see in your eye line would be Janice. And then they have another friend of Janice that wasn't the first one. And she'll go, I'll tell you, Janice, oh my God. She was the type of lady that she could walk into a room and light up the whole room.
There we go, for sure.
Lighter, not like that. She would
light up a room.
And that would be Janice's third friend lady that's not one of the earlier two. And then she goes, I'll tell you about Janice. Is that who you're asking about, Janice? Janice was the type of lady that you could be talking to your best friend in the whole world, and then Janice come in and you go, F you, I'm talking to Janice. Janice is a cool lady. I would like to meet her one day. That would be a lot of f. I forgot she vanished.
He has great skin. I know that's completely unrelated.
That's not good. I don't give a f what Obama says. Hope is never good. Don't try it. It never works out. So you go, oh man, they'll find Janice. They're putting pictures up of her on telephone poles. I think that had worked once. And
yeah, that doesn't work.
More things about Janice, you know, and they'll show you like the home videos of her. You're like, God damn, look at that. She's eating a pizza.
I eat pizza.
I like her.
So relatable.
They'll find her.
You start to care about Janice.
Obsessed with Janice. It's all you can think of, you know. You're at work. Fucking just can't wait to get home, agonizing over Janice, you know, and thinking about her with eating pizza and shit. And then you go home, and your nights are just fevered dreams of, you know, Janice and bangs and shit like that. And all you can do is turn on the TV and hope, and you know, and then one day, you know, they go, hey, more news on Janice. Here's the Bill. He's still outside, and then Bill is like outside, and he's like, here we are. Where, as you can see behind me, they are scouring the woods. They're still searching for Janice, you know. And then you go, oh, fuck, not the woods.
Not the woods. That's never good.
Nothing good ever happens in the woods.
So true.
I've seen enough of these fucking stories to know.
Nobody ever seems to bury people in like less gloomy places than the woods, right? Like I'm trying to think of a place that's really cheerful. Disneyland, but there's a lot of cameras.
That Janice ain't coming bounding out of the woods anytime soon. That's it. Just decided to take a stroll through the scraggly woods. No, if they find you in the woods, they always find you in the same place. Every time they will find you in a shallow grave.
Mm-hmm. So accurate.
I don't know why they don't just look there in the first place. If I was the police chief, I'd go, listen, I want every shallow grave in the vicinity checked out. Doesn't shallow grave seem a mite rash? You know, like these serial killers are supposed to be so shrewd and cunning and everything, you know? At least according to the TV movies I've seen. And, but then when it comes time for the grave, they get a little hasty, you know? They're like, there you go, 3 twigs and a leaf. That ought to do it. That doesn't look like Janice anymore. I don't recall Janice ever wearing 3 leaves and a twig.
So true. So true.
Oh, I'm going to wait the authorities now. You got to prepare these things, you know? You got to be a little smarter than that. You know, what I would do, and I would never, ever kill a lady in cold blood.
We've all thought about it though, haven't we? We've all thought about how we would get away with it. Anyway.
I know I say that now. I don't really know. I can't predict the future, but I don't believe
It can happen.
I know there's no river long enough doesn't contain a bend, but I believe that right now, because there's a lot at stake. You know, you think about it, you probably, probably lose your job. I don't know what happens.
Probably.
That's a blemish on the old CV, Even in today's enlightened society, there remains a stigma to being a psychosexual sadist. But what I would do is I would look at the lady, I would select a lady, and then I would follow her habits. You understand what I'm saying? Like I would watch her very carefully, And I go, hey, I notice that every day she goes to that cheese sandwich shop, and then she comes out with a little paper bag. I'll bet you anything there's a cheese sandwiches in there. So I keep that in my...
As a woman, let me just say, always change up your schedule wherever possible. I do. I walk through at different times every day. You can't predict me. You can't predict me.
You understand? Then I'd say, hey, I notice every Wednesday evening she goes with her other lady friends and they go down to the YWCA and they play basketball with each other, which is fine nowadays,
So why wouldn't it be?
What I would do is...
Why wouldn't it be?
I would go down to the YWCA, but a cheese sandwich. So then she would eventually come out of the YWCA, all sweaty with her, her ridiculous three-colored ball and everything there, and then I'd be standing there. And then
ridiculous.
What's in your right hand? And I go, nothing. I'd be coy, And she'd go, there's something in your right hand. I go, listen, lady. Who knows more about what's in their right hand? You or me? I believe, this. Now, this is just a cheese sandwich. Why, you like them or something? I got a whole fucking van full of them over there.
It's like a kid with sweets. Women are the exact same.
Yeah, that craziest looking fucking van you ever saw? That's filled with cheese sandwiches. You don't have to have cheese sandwiches in the van, by the way.
It's just an example.
Unless you want to be known for your detailed work, it's not really necessary. Then I would get the lady in the van and I would drive her to a remote area, an area most known for its remoteness. That's what I would look for.
Okay.
And anyways, I'd take her to the remote area where I'd constructed a shed, and then I would get her in there and I would do that thing that makes me feel like God. And then her screams would just bounce off the walls and echo out into nowhere and never touch the ear of civilized man again. And then I would take her body to the woods and bury her in a very, very, very
shallow
grave.
Deep grave. Right. That was very funny, to be fair. My favorite type of humor is observational humor, and that was very good. Observational humor. He touched on all the things. Maybe he was the original guy who touched on it, but yeah, that whole light up a room, shallow grave. Don't ever say I lit up a room. I dim a room when I go in it. I make it darker. In case you haven't checked it out, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Diane Jennings. We do lots of fun things there. You can join that community if you want to, get 2 extra videos a week. You can even opt in for shoutouts like Jason Moyer, who wants to shout out all the fathers out there. He says regardless of any professional goals he may reach, the greatest blessing he has in his life is being a father to his son. Jason says happy belated Father's Day to all of us. That's it for today. See you guys on the other side. Bye. Your nails are very sharp. Your nails scratched me all over because we haven't gone for a good walk since you got them cut.